Zacks Screen of the Week, an overview of a timely stock screening strategy aimed at helping you produce more profitable investing results. This time around, we're going to check out the new top 5 sectors with Kevin Matris, who is our top stock screener, head of our Research Wizard division here at Zacks.com. Now, I know you kind of review these every once in a while.
Right. Probably about once a quarter at least.
Yeah, but why is it that you do that often, identifying the new top sectors? Is it that important to keep re-identifying them?
Yeah, I mean, they do change, but the reason why it's important is because, you know, we've said it here before, but roughly half of a stock's price movement can be directly attributed to the group that it's in. So by definition, a strong sector is one where more companies are moving higher, whereas a weak sector is one where more companies are moving lower. If you have more companies moving lower in a sector, that cannot be considered a strong sector. So you want to find the companies that are, in a wholesale manner, moving higher. That would be the definition, at least for this piece, of a strong sector. And what's interesting is I have done some testing, and I have found that in the past, even getting into an average stock in one of the better groups can oftentimes outperform one of the best stocks in a troubled group. Now, that doesn't mean you can buy just anything and make money, but it does underscore how powerful it is to get into the right groups, because that can truly help your returns.
Makes sense. All right, so thanks for clarifying that for us. How are you defining best sectors?
There are several ways you can define a best sector or best industry. One of my favorites is to look at the percentage of stocks trading within 10% of its 52-week high. Now, some people like to look at the percentage price change over the last 12 weeks or 24 weeks, and I think that's fine, but in some sense, I don't think that is sensitive enough. Okay. Because if you were to look at, let's say, the oil and energy sector last year, that was a group that was continuously ranked one of the top performing sectors. But the fact of the matter is, what was happening is, if you're looking at, let's say, the 12 or the 24-week price change, if you have a huge run-up in the beginning part of that time span, then you have a big pullback in, let's say, the last couple of weeks of that 12 or 24-week time span, oftentimes that big drop can be completely hidden within the larger move that preceded it. So while the oil and energy sector was collapsing last year, it continuously ranked as one of the best sectors. And if something is collapsing like that, I don't believe it's one of the best sectors. So the reason why I like to look at the percentage of stocks trading within 10% within the 52-week high is because if it starts pulling back from that high, you're going to see that almost immediately. And this way, that can affect the rating. And the investor can be alerted that maybe something systemic is happening within that group, as opposed to something happening that is just stock specific.
Interesting. So then what are the new top five sectors?
Well, it's interesting because there were 3 new sectors that came on this screen this week. So check it out. The top 5 sectors, based on the percentage of stocks trading at or within 10% of their 52-week highs, is utilities. That comes in at the #1 spot, and 58.7% of the stocks are trading within 10% of the 52-week highs. Then you've got conglomerates in the #2 position. Auto, tires, and trucks, #3. Consumer staples, #4, and then aerospace is the 5th sector. Now, what's interesting is that the retail wholesale sector, that was #1 the last time I did this in September. What's interesting is that while that was #1, that has fallen all the way down to the 9th spot. Consumer staples, that was #3 in September. That has dropped a notch to the 4th spot. But utilities back in September was #2. That popped up, and that has taken the #1 position. But there are 3 new sectors that have popped in on this screen, and you have conglomerates, autos, tires, and trucks, and aerospace. And the reason why I point those out as being new is because I especially like to look at the new groups that pop up, because that means something special is taking place.
All right, and some of the stocks that came through.
Yeah, here's 5 stocks, and I have 1 representing each sector. So you have E&I, that is from the utilities group, CR conglomerates, GPC, autos, tires, and trucks, Service Corp, that is from consumer staples, and then you have General Dynamics, that is in the aerospace sector. And all of these stocks are in the top sectors as we've defined them, and they are all on the move.
Do you own any of them?
No. Always got to look at that.
I don't know why he has to think about it so much. But anyway, if you want to read more about this screen in text format, go to Zacks.com's homepage. Scroll down the homepage till you get to Kevin's picture and click on the headline, which is the live link to that article right next to his picture. And if you want to know more about the Research Wizard, the tool that Kevin uses to achieve all of these screens, it's a powerful tool. Zacks.com/Research Wizard is where you should check out. With Kevin Matris and the Screen of the Week, I'm Terry Ruffalo.